Welcome back to the YouTube channel, where we uncover the hidden treasures, historical legends, and mysterious fortunes buried in the folds of time. Today, we embark on a journey that is not only steeped in the legacy of American coinage, but is also drenched in the secrets of a coin that has shaken the numismatic world to its very core, the 1981 D. Washington Quarter Dollar, a coin once minted for everyday transactions, now reportedly worth an astonishing $433 million. This is not just a tale of copper and nickel. This is a saga of rarity, error, politics, and an underworld bidding war that escalated far beyond anything the US Mint ever imagined. The story of the 1981 D Quarter Dollar does not begin in Denver, where the coin was officially struck. It begins in the unlikely surroundings of Washington, D.C., in the early months of 1981, when the Reagan administration was taking office. With inflation a persistent national concern and the economy teetering between recession and recovery, the U.S. Mint was under pressure to improve efficiency and reduce costs. Tensions were high, as the Mint scrambled to meet quotas while quietly experimenting with different metallic compositions behind closed doors. Very few were aware of a top-secret project called Operation Alloy. Designed to test alternative metal mixes for future coinage, the project involved a limited run of experimental coins that were never meant to enter circulation. One such experiment was performed in Denver, where a small batch of quarter dollars was struck with a proprietary alloy developed by a defense contractor. These coins looked similar to ordinary quarters but contained trace elements of rare earth metals, designed to extend their lifespan and test electromagnetic compatibility with vending machines and military-grade scanning devices. Only a handful were ever produced, exactly 7, according to declassified documents unearthed years later by investigative journalist Calvin Westridge. It is one of these 7 experimental pieces that is believed to be the infamous 1981 D Quarter Dollar that would eventually be valued at $433 million. Westridge's discovery led to a flood of questions. Why would a defense contractor be involved in coin metallurgy? Why would the US Mint, already producing hundreds of millions of coins annually, allow uncirculated experimental quarters to escape into the public? And how did one of these experimental quarters wind up in the estate of a deceased reclusive art dealer in Monaco? The answers, as Westridge would uncover, led him down a trail that linked the CIA, the Federal Reserve, and a clandestine European numismatic syndicate known only as Les DAOs. Back in the early 1980s, Denver's Mint facility was known for its precision and volume. The 1981 D quarters produced that year numbered in the hundreds of millions. For decades, collectors gave the 1981 D no special attention. It was plentiful, and outside of the usual minting variations, it held no unique value. That changed in 1998, when a small Denver-based auction house listed what they called a mysterious 1981 D quarter with anomalous weight and metallic resonance in their catalog. The coin, discovered in a safety deposit box belonging to an anonymous rancher in Colorado, immediately attracted the attention of a private collector from Zurich, who purchased it for $24,000, a remarkable sum at the time for a modern quarter, but that sale was only the beginning. Over the next 2 decades, rumors swirled that the quarter had changed hands multiple times, each time for a higher price, and always through private, unregistered sales. Some said it had been sold at a clandestine auction held on an estate in the Swiss Alps. Others believed it had been traded between intelligence agencies in exchange for classified data. The truth may never be fully known, but what is confirmed is that the coin resurfaced in 2023, during the estate sale of the late art dealer Sebastian Renier, who died under mysterious circumstances in Monte Carlo. Renier's estate included over 200 rare coins, but one stood out: the 1981 D quarter sealed in a block of crystal glass with a handwritten note, only one of 7. Do not sell below $400 million. The note was signed with the initials TR, believed by experts to be Thomas Redgrave, a former metallurgist at the Denver Mint who disappeared in 1984 during a congressional hearing on federal coin production protocols. The reappearance of the quarter sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. For the first time, authentication experts confirmed that the coin was not composed of standard clad copper-nickel but of an exotic alloy containing iridium, neodymium, and trace amounts of yttrium, materials not normally found in any circulated coinage. Word of the find reached every corner of the globe, and private collectors, museums, and even governments began discreetly expressing interest in the coin. The Smithsonian made a quiet offer of $50 million. A tech billionaire known for his secretive collection of Cold War memorabilia reportedly offered $200 million. The coin, however, would not be sold to either. Instead, it was acquired through an anonymous cryptocurrency transaction on a dark web auction platform known only as Pharos. The final sale price? Exactly $433 million, paid in a mix of Monero and Ethereum, with the physical transfer reportedly made in an underground vault beneath Geneva. What makes the story of this quarter even more astonishing is not just its experimental composition, but what it represents. The 1981 D experimental quarter has become a symbol, a Rosetta Stone that bridges the gap between numismatic history, covert government projects, and the obsessive desire of collectors to own the rarest of the rare. In truth, only a select few know the real story. The U.S. Mint has never acknowledged Operation Alloy. The Denver Mint's records for 1981 remain incomplete, with large sections redacted under national security exemptions. And no one has been able to trace all 7 experimental coins, though at least 3 are suspected to be held in private vaults in Singapore, Abu Dhabi, and South Africa. The coin that fetched $433 million is not just valuable because of its rarity. It is valuable because of the mystery it embodies. It is a coin that defied circulation, avoided documentation, and yet, somehow, traversed the globe, gathering legends and leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. It is a reminder that even the smallest objects, just 5.67 grams in weight, can carry a legacy worth hundreds of millions and can stir passions, conspiracies, and international intrigue like no treasure chest ever could. And just when you think the story ends there, another twist emerges. In early 2025, a retired metallurgist living in Tucson, Arizona, came forward with a confession that shook everything we thought we knew about the 1981 D quarter. He claimed to have personally struck one of the experimental coins, under direct orders from a joint task force representing both the Department of the Treasury and an undisclosed intelligence agency. The purpose of the coin, he claimed, was not monetary but technological. Each coin served as a field testing device for prototype tracking technologies embedded within the metallic structure itself. The theory? That these quarters could one day be used as passive data points in high-security environments, their metallic signatures readable only by government-developed scanners. If true, this would mean that the 1981 D quarter is not just a relic of minting history, it's a vestige of one of the earliest attempts at blending surveillance technology with everyday currency. The metallurgist provided no hard proof, and died within 6 weeks of making his claim, fueling conspiracy theories further. However, lab tests conducted by an independent scientific institute in Berlin found anomalies in the electromagnetic profile of the $433 million quarter, anomalies which have yet to be explained. Could this coin have been part of a greater experiment in Cold War surveillance? Or is it simply the most legendary numismatic artifact ever discovered? As the years go by, more pieces of the puzzle emerge, but the full picture remains elusive. The 1981 D quarter dollar has transcended its humble origins. It is no longer just a coin. It is a whisper of forgotten projects, a shadow in the annals of Cold War secrets, a relic touched by art dealers, spies, billionaires, and collectors driven by obsession. It is the coin that united the worlds of government, history, and mystery, and for that reason, its story continues to grow. The 1981 D quarter dollar was no longer just a numismatic marvel. It was now being whispered about in the same breath as infamous code systems like Venona and Echelon. It was a ghost relic, embedded with secrets that spanned continents and generations. And the $433 million price tag no longer seemed about the material. It was a valuation of the unknown, a premium for the power of forbidden knowledge. To this day, only 2 of the 7 confirmed coins have been verified. Their owners remain anonymous. The rest are still out there, somewhere, possibly in a grandmother's drawer, at the bottom of a war veteran's footlocker, lost in an old arcade machine in a Midwestern diner, or buried beneath decades of dust in a forgotten storage unit. Each has become the stuff of legend, each potentially holding part of a key that could unlock a forgotten Cold War intelligence system, and maybe, just maybe, someone watching this very video has unknowingly held one in their hands. Because the story of the 1981 quarter dollar isn't finished. It's still being written. Every time a coin clinks into a change jar or is flipped into the air. Every time someone looks twice at the date on a quarter. Every time a collector opens a new box of forgotten currency. The journey continues, the mystery deepens, and the legend grows stronger.